Hello, hello, I am Marion. This is Book Zealots. Welcome to the February wrap-up. We're in March, so sorry for being a little late. All the books, just reading all the books. February was a really good month. However, I did get a little distracted with library books. Yes, I did. But it was still a good month. Okay, so I think I had some goals. I had carryovers, which didn't go well. I had, excuse me, Historathon, which I'm still reading. I had spins. That went well, except for one. I'm looking at my February TBR here. I did have goals. So Historathon, classics. I wanted to unhaul 5 books and read at least one book from my elimination shelf. So I'm just going to dive into it. We'll start with this one, The Black Count by Tom Reiss. You would think I would have looked up his name. No, I've been busy reading. I apologize. Let me know if you know how to pronounce this. Can you leave a comment below and let me know the correct pronunciation. Is it Reese or Rice? This was good. This was so good. You can see on my little blue tabbies. This was good. I have a pink one in here, but I don't know if that's because I ran out of blue. I think it's because I ran out of blue. I need to buy some more. I'm glad I read this. It was on my elimination shelf because I needed to get to it. And now that I've read it, I can unhaul it. So if you don't already know, this is about Alexander Dumas, the author, his father. If you don't know anything about it, I recommend this book. Even if you do. So it says Glory, Revolution, Betrayal, and the Real Count of Monte Cristo. I'm thinking of all the things that I read and the things that I went through and the betrayal. And yeah, the betrayal. And he was put in prison. And if I remember correctly, he was in an Italian prison. This was good. Okay. Guns, Germs, and Steel by Jared Diamond. Did I slide this in? Did this cut the line? Yes, it did. And it fits for Historathon. So yes, The Fates of Human Societies. I have read Jared Diamond's book called The Collapse. I liked that one better than this one. I don't know what else to say about it. It was okay. I am unhauling it. This was better. Then I read Dr. Wortles' School by Anthony Trollope. I think this might have been, again, based on what I remember. I don't recall reading Anthony Trollope books, any. But you know what? I can pick up a book and read it and say, oh, I have read this book. This book I have not read. It's a very slow burn. But once you get to the top of that roller coaster, woo, baby. It's a ride. All the twists, I kept gasping. Oh, no. This was good. So there's a conundrum. There's a man who is a pastor and he's part of a school. And he marries a woman who was married and an American. And then her brother-in-law shows up and says, why are you married to my sister-in-law? She's still married. What? It gets better, and the brother-in-law is a piece of garbage and bit of a shyster, and apparently her husband, his brother, wasn't any better. So no love lost there. Then I read a library book, and I'll try and find it and put a picture up. It's called The Church by Dr. Alvin A. Cleveland Sr. And it's super short. It's only 87 pages long. And I'm sorry, I keep fiddling with my sleeves because I'm cold. It's so much better than I thought it was, and it's basically sermons. And it is, in a nutshell, 5 characteristics Christians should have: humility, gentleness, patience, tolerance, and love. And I say that, but technically we should all have that. And it's not easy believism, and it was good. It was so much better than what I thought it would be. I don't even know how I found out about it, honestly, but I'm glad I checked it out. My library actually had it. So yes, I had to get it, and I checked it out. And so the next library book, again, I'll try and find a picture of it and put it up. Know Yourself, Know Your Money by Rachel Cruze. And if you know who that is, if you don't know who that is, she is the daughter, one of the daughters of Dave Ramsey, the financial guru person. I don't necessarily agree with everything that he talks about, but this was fascinating because she talks about how if you grew up in a house where money was just freely given and you never had to worry about money, then the way you save or spend money is going to be different than somebody who grew up in a household who always had to worry about money. But I say that my oldest son is the reverse of how he was raised. So there's that. Okay, well that was fun, huh? It was a good book. I liked it. I recommend it. The next one is Change Your Brain, Change Your Life. And this was by Daniel G. Amen, medical doctor, the Breakthrough Program for Conquering Anxiety, Depression, Obsessiveness, Anger, and Impulsiveness. I highly recommend this book. This book was really good. I haven't even rated it yet, but this book was really good. It sent me to YouTube to find a lot of videos on this doctor and see what he's talking about now. I don't think this book is that old. Let me check publication date real quick. And I've had this book for a little while. I say a little while, I don't know. It was published in 1998, and he's still saying the same thing. So do we need to be aware of what we are eating? Yes. Do the way we think help us to be healthier or sicker? Yes. It was good. So basically, I watched a video about him, and he was talking about inflammation is the cause of depression and dementia. And what do you think causes inflammation? If you have an idea of what causes inflammation, leave a comment below. It was a really good book. And yes, it was good, but I will be unhauling it. And I cut out some of the information about brain do's and the brain don'ts. And, whoa, am I looking at things totally differently now? Trampolines? Ooh, maybe not so good for your brain. Roller coasters? Ooh, maybe not so good for your brain. Little shaky toys for babies? Ooh, maybe not so good for the baby's brain. Like, I'm really seeing things totally different. Good book. I'm very glad that I read it. Another book. Again, I don't even know how I came across this book, but apparently the library had it and I had put it on hold. I don't know when, and I don't know how long I was waiting for it, but it's called This Present Darkness by a Frank E. Peretti. It's a Christian book, but it's similar but not to the Left Behind series, but it isn't about people being caught away or disappearing or any of that. It's a small town that has a college, so a small college town. Professors and teachers are creating a cult. I don't know what else to call it. But they're doing some new agey, twisted stuff, and bad things are happening. It was a weird book, but it was fascinating too. It was probably better in a different way than the Left Behind series. I don't know. If you've ever read it or heard about it, let me know. Tell me what you thought. Another book. Oh, finally. Okay. This is another book that skipped the line. I finally read it though. I like the way Stacy Schiff writes. So The Revolutionary Samuel Adams by Stacy Schiff. I like the way she writes. I like her word selections. Every once in a while I have to look a word up, and I like that. Not every page, but every so often I'll get to a word and I'm like, I think I know what that means, but I'm not sure, so let me look it up. This was good. I'm on the fence about whether or not to unhaul this or not, but Prometheus doesn't think he'll get to it anytime soon, so I probably will unhaul it. So Samuel Adams was basically the instigator of the American Revolution. He lit a fire, basically, and it just burned. Yeah, it got out of control quickly. And the mother country, England, didn't care about their colony. They just wanted money. They just wanted to collect some taxes and ignore us. I say us because I'm from here. So the ending is bittersweet, and my problem, not the writing, my problem was I kept forgetting which Adams I was reading about. So, okay. John Adams is most known. But back then, Samuel Adams was the most known. So when John Adams went to France, he kept trying to tell them, I'm not Samuel Adams, that's my cousin. And then they were disappointed. And now we know more about John Adams than Samuel Adams. But this book was bittersweet. His life was bittersweet. And honestly, he was not an upstanding man. John Adams was a more upstanding man than he was. So anyway, I'm so glad that I read it. Like I said, I'm glad it cut the line. Unlike Guns, Germs, and Steel, but at least I've read that one now and I can get rid of it. And then this one, 12 Extraordinary Women by John MacArthur. How God shaped women of the Bible and what he wants to do with you. It's okay. It's okay. If you're a brand new Christian, if you're a brand new Christian and you don't know anything about the Bible, then maybe, yes, I would say this might be helpful. For people who have been Christian for a while, use your discernment because there's a lot of presumption in here, written as fact, and he writes some things that are not scriptural. I don't know what I'm going to do with this book. I'm glad I read it. I do have to say, sorry, my nose itched. I do have to say there's one person in here that I would have to disagree with on his opinion, and that is Sarah. Okay, I unhauled this one. Sorry, my nose is tickly. I don't know. Kind of feels like there's a cat here, but cats don't come in the house. So, Jennifer Chiaverini, the Union Quilters. This was so repetitious. I didn't get very far. I got to chapter 4, and the repetition in this book, just the first 3 books, annoyed me so much that I stopped. I didn't care. And apparently this one particular book in the series. I don't know what number this is. Other readers have mentioned the same thing, and I'm sad about that. However, I printed, I don't know where they're at, but I did print some patterns for the blocks that are in here. Hang on a minute. Let me see. Yeah, here's one. Okay. So I don't even remember how I came across them. I started printing them off. So this one is for February. It's from 2014. So this square, this block is called Manassas, and it's from the book. It's from this book. And there is a website that gives squares with their names and a date, usually like when it was first published. This doesn't say. Anyways, and the next one is called Pennsylvania. And that one's from 2014 as well. Again, I don't know when these were originally published. And then this one is called The Cornerstone. I don't know how well you all can see that. And obviously quilting back then was a lot different than the quilting done today. Oh, I have one more book that I DNF'd. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it. This one is definitely going to be donated, probably to the Little Free Library. But look at this beautiful book. This is Little House on the Prairie, or in the Big Woods and on the Prairie. Two different stories in this book, and I just could not get into it. This is a beautiful book. So I'm going to ask my daughter if she wants it for my grands. I couldn't get into it. I just could not get into it. Now, probably this would be a great time to try and read it for middle grade March. I don't know. My family's supposed to be coming to visit, so I'll ask her if she wants it. And that's pretty much it. That was my February. I don't know how many books. Hang on a minute. Let me check. How many books I read. How many books was that? 9 books and 2,587 pages. 1 classic, 5 non-fictions. Do you see what I like? Non-fiction. 1 fiction, 2 faith, 2 DNFs. 4 books came in, 6 books are going out or will be going out. And that was my February. Please leave a comment below and let me know how your month went, and let me know what you plan on reading for March. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye.